with focusing on their needs all the time. Maybe it's human nature. I've felt it myself, and you really have to be aware of it to get out of it. Like, what's the number one reason you would do an open house? And in an auditorium with 100 realtors, if I ask that, a lot of times I hear to get leads. And I'll say, okay, what's the number one reason the seller wants you to do an open house? And all of a sudden, everyone's quiet. To sell the house? I'll go, is that a question? Well, no, it's an answer. The sellers want you to do an open house to sell the house, but the realtor wants to do an open house to get leads to sell other houses. So if the seller knew that, they may not be too pleased. So I, as your trainer, say you should do an open house to sell the house so that you make your client's number one goal your number one goal. And if you do that, you're still going to get leads anyways. Probably a lot of good ones, because you're going to be selling. If you sell the house, that means it was a saleable listing. What's the number one reason the seller wants you to list a house? Right? To sell the house. Some realtors, they'll take any listing. We call it buying a listing. They'll take any price, anything. They don't care. They just want to be able to get more leads. Now, I understand we need to get leads, okay? But there is the best way to do real estate. And I would teach that throughout the course. But you got to make your client's number one goal your number one goal. You have to. Right? The deals will come. The money will come. No problem there, okay? All right. So, let's see here. So I got you to give yourself a congratulations. Well done. And my phone number and contact info. So if you're in the in-person live training, you would have a confirmation letter. I asked you to print it off, bring it to class. Take it out and take a look at it. It has the dates and the location for all 8 lessons. Today's lesson is here. You know that. Okay, next week you know where that is. I just want to make sure you have it. Usually I can get the bookings in the same hotel for 8 weeks. Sometimes I have to use 2 hotels. Online, if you would like to do this, is pick a day of the week that you're going to do the course. Because you can't do one lesson and wait 2 weeks. You have to do one lesson a week. And you can't do one on Monday and then the next one the following Friday. That's too far apart. You should keep them the exact same day. You should have every Monday for 8 weeks, or every Tuesday or every Wednesday for 8 weeks. Make yourself accountable. Come in, get your stats in for yourself or send them to me. Sit down, watch the recording, and pay attention. Turn off your phone while you're, and if you need to take a break every 45 minutes, pause the recording. In the class, we'll take a break every 45 minutes. You'll turn on your phone, check your messages, take a stretch, use the restroom, come back. We'll go another 45 minutes. And the recording, when we pause, I guess that'd be your cue to take a break if you want, or a cue to role play it might be as well. All right, my phone number, like I said, is on the bottom. Follow us on Facebook. We've confirmed the lessons, so let's go to the 8 keys to success. Alrighty, gang. So what's the first key to success? First key to success is to have a great attitude. In other words, give yourself a checkup from the neck up as often as you need it. Even if you don't need it daily or weekly, still stop and figure out what's the best use of your time. And are you an optimistic person, or are you pessimistic? I may have mentioned this earlier, I may mention it again in many, many lessons, but we all have optimism in us and pessimism in us. And being optimistic is when, well, let me talk about the other one. Being pessimistic is bad. Holy cow. It is not, you can't be a realtor if you're pessimistic all the time. They don't go together. That's when a person looks for the difficulty in every opportunity. They're always complaining. They're always finding a reason not to do something. It's just, you're in the wrong business. You can't even be a business owner. And the pessimist will argue with me about that one. An optimistic person will work well in real estate. And you need to look at everything and understand that there's an opportunity and even things that are difficult. So a checkup from the neck up, because it's human nature to have both. You'll wake up one day and you're just a grumpy person and you're pessimistic, right? Probably best to go back to bed or go to the gym, or go get a nice good meal in you, or go hang out with somebody that might pick you up, not you bring them down. But I wouldn't prospect if I'm pessimistic or grouchy. I would avoid meeting people, so maybe send somebody else on your appointments, or better yet, snap out of it, right? Snap out of it, man. Do whatever it takes. You're going to have to learn how to do that in this business, because you could be on your way to a listing appointment. Just before you leave the office, the phone rings. Because you're not going to answer your phone in the car, right? I hope not. So you look at the phone, oh yeah, hey, how's it going? Oh really? Oh, yeah, but I told you, and oh, okay. So it's a conversation like that where all of a sudden you're saying that it's not going to work. A deal you worked on, they may have even agreed on price, is falling apart. And most of the time you'll just feel like it shouldn't be falling apart, and it can be upsetting. If it genuinely it shouldn't, then I get it why you should be upset. But sometimes there has been some negligence by one of the realtors that caused the problem. A real common one is a realtor will write an offer for a client that has not been pre-approved for a mortgage. And when financing needs to get approved within 5 to 7 business days, the bank has said that they are not approved because they don't have enough or their credit's not good. That should all been checked out way before an offer was written. Do you agree? I say even before there were showings, I might add. But anyways, there's one thing that it was a negligence on the buyer agent, which made the seller agent look bad, if I may add also. So all of a sudden you go, darn it, and you're on your way to a new listing appointment. How do you feel? Your forehead's crunched up with the pit bull look, because that's how guys look when they're a little bit agitated. It doesn't go away. We drive all the way there like this. We get there. And now we're going to walk to the door looking like this? I don't think so, right? Check up from the neck up, snap out of it, get on the next listing appointment, make like your face, like you're an approachable person. You don't have to have a creepy smile on, but don't look upset. They look out of the curtain, they go, honey, the realtor's here. Oh yeah, what's he look like? Well, he's got a nice suit on, but boy, he looks pissed off. Anyways, you know what I mean, right? Okay, let's carry on here. First key to success. None of the other keys matter if you have a bad attitude or if you're a pessimist. Got my point across? Do you have a great attitude? Come on, give yourself a checkup from the neck up right now. Next, appointments. How to book appointments with sellers, with buyers. Very important. I want you to talk to more people in the next week than you have in the last 6 months. Come on, you can be motivated enough for this. This is your chance. We're only together for 8 weeks, all right? And if you are to do my courses in the future, I still only do them every 12 to 18 months. So come on. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Get motivated. Get out and talk to people and offer to meet them no matter what the circumstances at their place or at your office to be able to go over some information. Be a consultant, gang. Next thing, leads. To generate leads. That lesson is very important for you to last in this business, because you can't be a secret agent all your career. And that sounds funny, but it's true. There's people that don't market themselves enough, and you call people, and they'll go, who? From where? In fact, people that know you will say to you even, are you still doing that real estate thing? Because you're not telling everybody that you're in real estate. You have to do it all the time. You have to market yourself. When I go into leads, I'm talking about conventional marketing, postcards in their mailbox, bus benches, outdoor advertising, mail drops, target marketing, and then I'm still talking about online, internet exposure and social media exposure, right? There's all that you want to do. But you want to be a well-known person. You want tens of thousands of people to know you're a realtor, and they consistently see that you are by you keeping in touch with past clients, friends, and family, and all around nice people that you get along with who might refer you all the time. So that's an important one. The first 3 keys to success are just to try to muster up some business. Have a great attitude to get appointments. Either you look for them or they come to you. Which brings us to the 4th key to success, presentations. Seller presentations, buyer presentations, pre-listing presentations, FSBO presentations, expired presentations. There's probably another one I could come up with, but seriously folks, we want to master the process, so every appointment we go to, we're walking in and getting the listing or the agreement signed if we want it. Now that's control. Isn't that right? So, I think this might be the 4th time, the 3rd for sure, but probably the 4th time you've heard me go over the 8 keys to success. So do you remember what number 5 was? Well, number 5 was price and net. Okay? Then specifically, we're going to go over the method of presenting price in lesson 5. So yeah, those are the lessons too. They are the keys. They are talked about in each lesson, but the theme is expanded on those particular lessons for each key. So you're not going to have to wait to lesson 5 to hear about price and net. We're going to be talking about it, answering questions throughout, or I'll talk to you one-on-one, it's no problem. But the main part of it with the PowerPoint and your manual will be in these specific lessons. So, you know, when we get to step 5, or lesson 5, and we go over the 5th key to success, we'll get you to role play. We'll do a lot of role playing. And lesson, like today, there's no role playing. And for those of you online, you can call me and we can role play, or you can just try to, you know, do it yourself, bounce off the wall or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just say it out loud so you can hear yourself. That's all. In your office. That's all good. Listen to the audio tracks a lot. So just remember, I haven't mentioned this yet, but at the end of the day, I'll let you know how it works to get access to our website, where everything I'm saying here, there's a shorter studio version, audio version that you can listen to the audio tracks by Bluetooth over, or you can burn them on a CD if you still have some old technology around to use, and you can listen to them, or I'm encouraging you to listen to them a minimum of 3 times a week. So a lot of this stuff will just be burnt in your head, if you know what I mean. Like your mind can remember everything we teach, but sometimes we think we forget, and then also when something triggers our memory, we go, oh yeah, I remember it now. So obviously it was in there. All right, so in the 5th key to success, I'm going to show you how you say to the sellers, let me show you how most successful sellers pick the right price. Let me say it again. I'm talking to the sellers. Mr. and Mrs. Sellers, let me show you how most successful sellers pick the right price. So there's a method of this, and it works. Boy, does it work great. So don't miss lesson 5. Don't miss any lessons, obviously. The next key to success was objection handling techniques. Don't fold like a cheap lawn chair. When you're on an appointment and they have an objection, I'm going to give you the dialogue to be able to get them to want to participate in you talking about how it works. How it would work if we did do what they said, and they would say, I don't know if I want that to happen, or how you could show them a solution to what they're thinking so that they want to do it the right way. So we want to handle objections. And what are some of the objections? When you're new, a lot of times we're thinking, how the heck am I going to protect my commission? So that's actually an easy one. So that one's not that hard. Then there's other ones like they don't want the listing agreement to be 6 months, you know, like to expire 6 months from now. They want a short-term one. That one's pretty easy to handle as well. Sometimes people want a higher price. That can be tricky. Depends what's going on in the market. You know, a couple of years ago in some places I was teaching, the market was crazy. There was 100,000 over list, 30 offers on almost everything. And it was on the coast, right? And when I come into the prairies, you start seeing that, you know, the prices are less and the multiple offers were a little less, but they were still there. And then a few years later, here we are. The market's going down, interest rates are going up, and everything's the opposite. Hey, don't worry. A couple of years from now, it'll go back the other way. I've been in real estate 30 years. Just goes back and forth, back and forth. All right. What's next? 7th key to success, business operations. So building your business, managing inventory, building a team, finances, things like that. We want to make sure the first 6 keys are to help you to build a business. Once your business is built, well, I guess technically to build a business you need all 8, but to start making money consistently, the first 6 keys are the ones that help you with that. Now that you're making money consistently, and if you're following the course, you're going to have a taste. If you're new, you're probably going to do about 4 or 5 sales, and you'll probably get 4 or 5 listings if you're brand new. That's amazing. If you've been around a couple of years, you probably do 2 or 3 times that. And if you're a veteran agent, you know what you're going to do. You're going to do double what you're already doing. Okay? And so when your business is built, you're going to still have listing appointments coming in even when you're not working because of your marketing. You're going to have a system where you're going to be able to convert to a face-to-face meeting, go on the appointment, and as a top producer, you're going to go on listing appointments, you're going to keep deals together and go on holidays. And when you go on holidays, somebody will cover for you. Somebody you need that's trained just like what we're teaching here. And then you can go on a vacation for 3 weeks or even 3 months and still make the same kind of money and still be in good hands while you're gone. Better yet, maybe you can have a team someday, all right? And the final key to success is your most valuable commodity. And here's the secret. Secret to time management, gang. Make sure you write this down. The secret to time management is doing high income producing activities first. I'll repeat that. The secret to time management is doing high income producing activities first. So, if you looked at your day, your daily calendar, your daily schedule, you would see a Monday to Friday schedule for a realtor is get into the office early. Now, you know what? I'm just saying, for those of you that like to go to the gym, I did because it helped me to feel positive as well. I still go to the gym. Okay, and I go consistently because it helps me physically and mentally, especially as I age. But even if you're young, here's what I highly recommend. Get up early. Get up really early Monday to Friday. Go to the gym because you won't be able to go later in the day once you're a high producer. So you go to the gym at like 6 o'clock, gang. You won't regret this. Go to the gym at 6. Get back home before 8. Have a really good shower and a really good breakfast and get to the office by 9 or no later than 10, between 9 and 10. Preferably 9. If you get there at 9 o'clock, do some administration paperwork. Get that out of the way. It's so much better for you if you get your the gym and your paperwork out of the way every morning early. 10 o'clock, you start returning calls, or you get proactive and you start making some calls. Do that between 10 and 11. Setting up your appointments, returning calls. Between 11 and 12, if you need to keep deals together, call lawyers or do any of that other stuff. Now that 10 to 11 is to get new business. That's not keeping deals together. 11 to 12, keep deals together. 12 to 1, go for lunch. Take a business associate, make it a business meeting, write it off. 1 o'clock, maybe you're on a listing appointment. You know, that's going to take the afternoon for you. 4 o'clock, maybe you can start heading home or go back to the office, get some paperwork done, head home, have dinner at home, 5:30. 7 o'clock, I would ideally like to see you not on any listing appointments at night, not showing any properties, but actually being able to handle any deals that are coming in so you can keep deals together and get them to firm up. All right? And then in the afternoon, by the way, if you don't get a listing appointment, and you know, you have to juggle things. Sometimes you have to do a listing appointment in the morning, then you just flip your calendar. Sometimes you have to do them at night, so then you'd flip things, you know. But just in general, start having some schedule like this, right? In the afternoon, like I said, if you don't have a listing appointment, then just do what you did in the morning the same. 1 o'clock, do admin. 2 to 3, make some calls. 3 to 4, keeping deals together, and then, you know, that type of thing. But start scheduling that. It'll help you quite a bit. That's some time management tips. You know, there's a lot to learn, but more importantly, learning isn't just one of the most important parts of this. Doing. You know, I've heard, this is just jokingly saying, somebody could say, got a GRI and a CRB, but no MONEY. Now, education is important, but just remember that education without application is worse than worthlessness, in my opinion. Okay, so this tool here, or didn't call it a tool yet, 8 keys to success. This tool here, make it a tool, is put that on the wall. Take it out of your manual, trim off the edges there again, and take it and put it on the wall with your top producer declaration. So by the time I'm done with you, you're going to have about 5 or 6 things on the wall to help you to make money. But I'd like you to look at this like links in a chain. Like imagine number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are connected. And I threw the chain over to you, and you grab number 8, and I grab number 1, and all the rest are in the middle. And we start pulling. And we pull, and we don't let go ever, but it does break. It'll break at the weakest link. So I want you each Monday morning to get into your office, and before you start doing anything, look at this and see what you feel is your weakest link over the last week or two. And if it's your attitude, then I want you to write down my attitude's my weakest link, and you work on strengthening that link this week. Your weakest link might be pricing, it might be appointments. Typically, as people are building their businesses, number 2 and 3 are usually the weakest links. Number 1, all I can say is this: you have to have a good attitude even when things are not working. If you don't, snap out of it or go get a job. Sorry, gang, but that's the simplest way I can say it. You know, if you asked me for one little bit of advice, one key thing, one thing, that's it. to help you to understand real estate or what to do with real estate, my thing would be get out of real estate. Because the first thing, now I'm not telling everybody to get out, I'm just saying that if you're not willing to learn all the rest after you have a good attitude, then you can't be in real estate. Okay, so my advice would be get out of real estate, right? But if you can get past having a good attitude, and you always have a good attitude, and then you ask me, I got a whole bunch of number one things I can say. In fact, you're going to get them all through the course here, okay? So let's go to the first key to success, shall we? And the first key to success was attitude, okay? I don't know, let's do it again. How's your attitude? Check up from the neck up. So let me give you a few awarenesses to ponder or commit to. And we'll talk about your goal, or specifically a reward that you're going to get 8 to 10 weeks from now, for sure. Not, we'll see how it goes attitude. Not, if I make enough money attitude. This is, I'm doing this for sure, so I better get to work in this course. Are you hear me? Do you hear me? You with me? Okay. So your awarenesses are pretty straightforward. First thing is listings are the way to the top. If you want buyers, get a listing. Right? If you want to make more money, get a listing. If you want to make your wife happy, get a listing. If you want to be happy, get a listing. If you want to take more holidays, get a listing. If you want the solution to all your problems now that you're a realtor, there's one answer, get a listing. Listings are the way to the top. But if it is to be, it's up to, yeah, it's up to you, right? You are in control. You need to be in control of your career. You have to say, no one's going to take advantage of me anymore, and I'll take a listing or a buyer if I choose. Not, I got to take them all. I don't want to lose anything. No, you need to be picky. You need to get rid of people fast. And I mean that, right? Now, those of you that are newer or haven't experienced real estate long enough to get that, the veterans know. They go, heck, I get rid of people like crazy all the time because I got decent marketing. And there's a whole bunch of people, they'll say, if you find me a deal, I'll buy it. My attitude is, well, if I find a deal, I'll buy it. If you get me this much for my house, I'll list with you. Or, I'll list it with you, but I'm only paying you half. Or I'll give you 30 days to sell it. If you don't, I'm using somebody else. Like, I don't need any of that. But don't talk quite like me. You have to have the attitude inside. You still want to say, you stay with the steps. Well, let's get together, we can discuss it. And you go over, you follow the 7 steps. If they're not cooperating and they won't agree with you, then you can just say, sorry, I couldn't help you, but glad I came over and told you a few things. If you change your mind, give me a call. Sometimes that snaps them out of it. They're like, oh, who's this guy? Different than the other guy. Maybe, because nobody wants to list with a wimpy agent. They think they do, but when they find out somebody has the strength to negotiate properly and they don't have to worry about anything, and all those ones that want the deals and all that, just let them go to somebody. Refer them to a realtor you don't like. No, I'm just kidding. All right, let's see here. So we need to have a SMART goal, or specifically calling it a reward. And the reward has to be achieved within a week or two after this 8-week productivity challenge. It needs to be specific. So I need you to start thinking, what do I want to reward myself with? Because over the next 8 weeks, I'm focusing on booking 3 listing appointments a week, getting listings and getting sales, keeping deals together. And I'm in an environment that nothing touches this environment. With the experience I have and the material I have for you and the motivation I'll give you, with the motivation of your team or yourself and your family, you're going to win. We've removed the option to fail. So for sure, you're going on that trip, or you're buying that car, or you're getting new furniture for the house, or a new wardrobe for yourself and your wife or your husband, you know what I mean, or you're building that new oversized garage. You've got to pick something for sure, and it can't be, I want to make $100,000, or I want to do 50 deals, or it can't be that. We're going to have that too, right? A goal, a yearly goal, a goal for the class. We already did 60 grand. I don't want you to put 60 grand as your reward. I want you to put a picture. So on the back of your top producer declarations, I want you to take a square that takes up half the page. Okay, underneath it, I want you to put the numbers 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right across here. In the middle, I want you to put a date, which is within a week or two after the course is over. And across the bottom, I want you to put, I am committed to my success. Let me say it one more time. On the back of the top producer declaration, and by the way, I am telling you the most important thing to do in the course. May not seem like it to you, but it's the most important thing. On the back of the top producer declarations, for you to be motivated and have a good attitude, you have to have a reward. You have to. Okay? And I will not let you get away without having it. And it has to be a visual, and it has to be laminated at Staples on the back of the top producer declarations. So you can see the passion coming out at me. You know, I'm not mad. I'm just saying it kind of frustrates me when some of the people don't take me serious on this or don't think it's serious. It is the biggie, okay? And I will keep asking for it every week, and you pledge it in your team huddle, and those of you online, as soon as we do any one-on-one or we're talking or we're trying to see what's motivating you, I'll be asking for you right away. In fact, those of you that are online, the commitment letter, send it to me, okay, admin 4, right? And after you've got this, you don't have to scan this side, but scan this side. Send me A4, program commitment, and send me your goal, a reward. So half the page, draw a square. You can write the word visual in here, because what you're going to do is you're going to go online, you're going to Google or look for a picture. You know how you can Google something and click images on top, and up pops up a bunch of images? Pick the image that is of Mexico for when you're going to go in 8 to 10 weeks, or it's the BMW you want to buy, or some of the technology equipment you want to buy. You know, it could be a new camcorder or something like that, recording device, or, you know, there's all kinds of stuff. And I want you to tape it on there. Tape it before you laminate. And then put the numbers 1 to 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how many listings we have to get as fast as possible. And then we put the date. Okay, so whatever month and the day within a week or two after the class and the year. And across the bottom, I am committed to my success. Laminate it. Bring it to class next week. Bring it to class every week. Heck, I used to, in the first few years I was teaching this, I used to get you to attach, punch a hole in this and attach it to your car keys. And yes, people were walking around with their keys in their pocket with this hanging out. And you can laugh all you want, but seriously, the people that were so committed, you'd see them come walking into the class with the thing right here. They go out and do showings. I was a student once, and well over 20 years ago, we used to have attached to our car keys. And I remember having mine, you know, where the keys are in your car, and it was just hanging there like this. And the buyer I was with, he says, "Hey, what's that thing there?" I said, "Oh, this? Oh, well, I'm in a course right now," I said. And it's a really interesting course. You know, we're on teams, and we're trying to get as many listings and sales as we want. We have this goal. I said, "You're kind of helping me with it actually right now. You know, they said, we go help you buy a house." And I put it into my stats, and I'm trying to achieve something, and my goal here, and one time I wanted another car, and he said, "Oh, cool, that's right on." Hey, whatever, it was all good. So, anyways, we want to make sure it's specific, measurable. We got the eight listings, right? Attainable, so we have a timeline. It's a reward for you, so it has nothing to do with money or deals or anything like that, and we track our results. So we'll track that each week. And just remember, SMART goals give you energy, right? And you know, in the class, you're going to get stars, put them on your name tag. Online, I won't be giving you any of that stuff, but what you could do is still laminate it, and you could go get your own stars at the dollar store. And on the back, on those numbers 1 to 8, every time you get a listing, put a star on it. If you don't want to do that, punch a hole in it, or just take a pen or a marker and cross off as you get your listings. Fair enough? What an environment you're putting yourself in. You know, when you don't get into a training program like this, or you don't have colleagues to work with like this, you're really alone in this business. It's quite surprising how alone you really are. So this is your chance, okay, gang? And your chance for commitment. So if you're on your own, pledge your goal or reward to your spouse, send it to me, pledge it to yourself each week. Here in in-person training, you're going to pledge your goal in your team huddle each week. Pledge it at home with your spouse as well, and maybe your kids too, okay? And you need to trust, and you need to let go of whatever is holding you back, and just perform with what we give you each week. We give you some weekly activities, and I'll make sure you're consistent. You just make sure you have a good attitude. It'll all fall into place. Sounds good? Okay, so as a side note, you don't have to do more than you said, or try to do more than I said even, but never less. Never less. You're in this class, you're committed. I'm going to tell you what you got to do and to be a top producer, and you're going to say, I'm committed to doing, I don't have to do more than you said, but not less. And at first it'll be, I got to try to do it, and then at some point you'll be good enough that you're getting it and you're committing to doing it all the time, okay? So Webster defines a goal as the end toward which effort is directed. Okay, our first power tool. So you see how this thing comes on the screen and dances all over the place? I did that on purpose. The reason I do that is power tools are really important. So even if you're online, I'm going to get you to say this out loud while you're by yourself, but in the class you're going to do it to make sure that everybody knows something important is coming. It gets everybody's attention. It gets them to realize they should look up and see what's going on. So every time you see this, you go, ooh, right? And we'll do that every time, okay? So here it is, ooh, right? It's a power tool. Everyone looks up online, you're looking, make sure you pay attention. Here's a couple of little tips before we go into writing more in the PowerPoint. PowerPoint is on the right-hand side of your manual where there's always sentences to fill out, lines to fill in. On the left side on your manual is a blank page, and every once in a while I throw out something, that's where you put that, and that's what this is right now. So put on the left side to increase your production 10% immediately, to increase your production 10% now. Number one, have a free day off each week. Have a free day off each week. Okay, let me just write it down for you. Okay, let's do this. So, to increase your production, increase your production 10% now. Have one free day off each week. See, why did you get into real estate? To make money, right? And have no life? Well, seriously. You know, we had a dream. Look at that realtor. He looks happy. He looks successful. The other one I know, talked to them. They're always on their way to a vacation. They're doing all the things they want, you know, and they seem to be able to, you know, work when they want to. It's true. The 5% club, they can work when they want to because they have a business. They're on their way to their next trip. You want to get busy, book your next trip. But you commit to going. Get extra inventory. Each week, take a day off so you can recharge. I mean, hey, that's even biblical. It says we need to rest once a week. Do that, to honor yourself as well. So you take one day off a week. Okay, Dwayne, does that mean I just don't do anything proactive? No, I mean somebody else covers for you if a call comes in. Even if you're brand new, do it. Create the habit. You won't regret it, okay? You can take my course. And 20 years from now, I'll be done and everything. You might be, you know, halfway through your career and you might turn to somebody and say, you know, one of the most important things I was taught a long time ago was to take a day off. You know what it helped me with? Helped me to rest and recharge. Helped me to build my relationships with my family.